Jennifer, congratulations on DC Superhero Girls.
Thank you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Now, talk a bit about the collaboration with Lauren, with Emmy-winning producer Lauren.
Lauren is amazing. Lauren is an absolute genius when it comes to story and character. She's so good at finding the core of what is appealing, not only to young girls, but like just all ages, and boiling that down so that you can really see it visually, like on the screen. Like each of the girls looks so different, and you can see who they are, what their personalities are based on their design, but also, just the overall arc of the show is going to be very, it's going to be smart.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is in your first round at the DC Universe, right?
It is, in fact, my first round of the DC Universe.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It's really fun, I have to say. It's amazing to just sit down, when you're looking for stories, thinking who a fun villain could be with like all the canon of DC in front of you, and just doing a super huge dive into just some really fun characters, but also really obscure characters who you might want to bring out of the vault a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because DC has thousands of characters.
Thousands.
How do you guys boil it down to what you want to feature in the series?
Well, the big thing comes down to theme. We're really being careful and thinking about that these are teenage girls, and so we want teenage themes. And so whether or not that is about an after-school job or, homework or just, kicking butt, as teenagers, which characters can we bring in who best reflect those themes? Well, they're balancing their super life and their teen life. So what happens when, there's a villainous situation, on foot, but you have an after-school job?
Oh, okay.
So it's all the fun of action, and there's just gonna be some really fun action, some really great fights, but also how that affects them as girls.
Ah, I love that. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Now, also Gray told me that Wonder Woman has a Greek accent, so that's a different, yeah?
It is, yeah. We really want to, all the girls look very different. They have different personalities, different looks, and we really like the idea of pushing that with Wonder Woman, because the thing with her is that she's a fish out of water. She's coming from this world, this idealistic world of Themyscira, and she's coming to the world of man, and, she's an amazing hero. She's probably as a hero, the best we've got. That's why she's our leader. But as a teen, she's not as capable. She can ride a horse, but she can't drive a car. She can speak, 10 languages, but she can't, use her phone or understand emoji. So we feel that like having that extra little bit of like that she's not really part of the girls' world is a really nice way of showing that on a character level.
All right, Lauren, congratulations on DC Superhero Girls.
Thank you very much.
Now, you've done My Little Pony and Super Best Friends, so what's unique and different about this one?
Well, this show is a evolution from the DC Superhero Girls web series that a lot of people might be familiar with right now. You could pretty much call it a reboot at this point.
Okay.
And let's see, what's different? What we're really trying to do with the show, the theme of all of it is that we're mashing together the idea of being a teenager and a superhero. And I think everybody's heard of that sort of thing before. But usually when we see comics or shows or cartoons about teenage superheroes, usually the stories are started with the usual superhero plot. Who's the bad guy? What are they doing? What do we need to do to stop him? Well, how would a teenager do it? So that's usually what we see. What we're doing in this show is a little bit of the opposite. While we'll have stories like that, we're mostly going to have stories where we take a teenage situation. What is something that a teenager goes through? What's like a coming of age story? What's something that a teenager deals with? And how do we put the superhero spin on it? So we're hoping that viewers will be able to connect to the characters even more strongly because they relate to them on a human, non-powered level, and then they get to have the fun of actually adding the powers after the fact.
Now, we all know teenage adolescent years are complicated, especially for girls. Having a crush, being jealous. Those things get tackled in this in the series?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So we're straying pretty far away from the usual stuff.
Okay.
So things like, like crushes. Actually, we have one episode about a crush. I'll admit that. We have one, but it's funny. It's really funny. That's actually 100% of what we're doing. But, so much of our story staff are women who were once teenage girls. We're really drawing from our own personal experiences of what we were like as teenagers. So we don't just stick to like shopping and boys. It's like we talk about, other teenage experiences and some experiences that aren't even exclusive to girls, things that boys go through as well, just because we're all people.
Nice. Talk a bit about the villains that are going to be featured in this series.
Well, we have a lot of them, but we're going to be highlighting some specifically as a rival group to our team. So we've got 6 heroes: Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Batgirl, Bumblebee, Green Lantern, and Zatanna. And their rival group, kind of like sometimes you have in school, you know, your group of friends, and then the group of friends that are kind of your social rivals, right? And that'll be Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Giganta, Livewire, Star Sapphire, and Poison Ivy.
Oh, so those characters are going to give them a hard time. Gotcha.
Yes. But we're going to take a whole season to establish each of those villains individually before they're finally a group.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Gray told me that some of the differences is that this time the Wonder Woman had that Greek accent even more. Why that difference?
Well, one thing we're really focusing on with Wonder Woman is that she is from Themyscira.
Okay.
She is not familiar with the world of man.
Oh.
So we really want her to kind of stand out. She is learning about the world of man, so there's a lot of things that she doesn't do quite right. She, as Diana Prince, she aces AP Calculus, but she can't figure out her phone. She can speak 40 languages, but she butchers slang. So she tries to say what the other kids say, and she says it all wrong. So having that Greek accent, having been coming from Themyscira, helps portray that she's a fish out of water, that she's not of our world, and she still has a lot to learn.
I'm sure that adds to the comedy a little bit.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
You are an Emmy-winning producer.
Yes.
So does that come with a, like you said your bar really high for the next project? I gotta, now that I have an Emmy, gotta do that.
It's really nice to get that kind of recognition, and nobody's going to pretend that's not awesome. But more than that, I just want to tell stories. I want to tell good stories, and I want to contribute to this medium that I love so much. So I want shows. I want all animated shows to be good for kids. I want them to entertain and inspire children, but I also want to honor this medium. I love animation, and it's an art form, and I want it to be an art form. I want it to be recognized as an art form.
Last question is going to be a deep question. Are you ready? Okay. This Girl Power series, what's the significance of this arrival during the Me Too era?
It's really hard to say. You're right. That's a very deep question. I don't think I've thought about that before. But I think what is really excellent is there have been a lot of girl power shows through the years, and we want to empower girls to be strong. And what is excellent about the Me Too movement is that they can watch these shows, watch these characters, learn how to be strong. And because of Me Too, things are changing. So when they do go out into the world and act strong, less people are going to try to push them down. So that might be a nice way to connect it. It's like if we can set our girls up to believe in themselves and to be strong, to stand up for themselves and to go after what they want and what they deserve, and they've got less people standing in their way, it's better for everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. Congratulations.